to some fireplaces. It's hard to carry on when you feel all alone. Now I've swung back down again. It's worse than it was before. If I hadn't seen such riches, I could live with being poor. Oh, sit down, oh, sit down, oh, sit down. Sit down next to me. Sit down, 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 down. Sympathy.
Evening, everyone. Evening, and thank you, Steve, for coming on, mate. Hope you're well. How's things over in the good old United States?
That's all right, man. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it a lot. But yeah, I'm all right, man. Just watching Sporting Gijón versus Valencia, Copa del Rey. So I'm all right, man. Just chilling.
Good, mate. We'll get on to a bit of Newcastle later. Kenny Ken, hope you're well. Hope everything's going well for you this week. And you're not suffering bloody freezing weather.
Oh, it's absolutely freezing. I've got the gloves on as well because you know the situation with sort of like the bills going up and everyone trying to save some energy in their own house. It's one of those cases. It's just a waste of time putting the heating on unless you're really desperate. So just close windows, wrap up, and that's what we're going to have to do. But the good thing about it is that there's loads of sports to discuss and there's loads of big games coming up this weekend. So, that is a consolation.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you there, mate. Kyle, how are you, mate? I know you're suffering over there in Ireland with the -7 temperatures and everything, and having to get up at 5 a.m. to go out in that. Whoa, no thank you.
Yeah, it's not good, guys. But the buses have to be drove, and someone has to do it, I suppose. And lucky for me, I'm one of them lads. So excuse me if you see me putting the hood up, because I'm running in from work and I've no fire, no heating on, so I might have to throw the hood up there to keep myself warm a bit throughout the video. But however, guys, listen, I appreciate you putting me on the show, man. Really, thumbs up to you.
Pleasure, man. Pleasure. So, the weekend just gone past. Arsenal went to White Hart Lane and won 2-0. Awesome performance, I thought. It was brilliant. I think we absolutely bossed them. That first 25 minutes, they looked like didn't have a clue. I'll start with Kenny on this, because you are actually at the game. And it was absolutely top draw, wasn't it, mate? It really was a great performance.
We made it kind of look easy because the way we came out the traps, like we didn't give them anything in defence. Oh yeah, and in midfield we completely dominated them. It was from the first minute when we charged down Lloris, when we charged him down and made it difficult and created that chance out of nothing for Eddie Nketiah. There's only one team who was bossing that, as far as I was concerned. Got a lot of respect for him. Players on that respect, because at the end of the day, Spurs not an easy ground to go to. We've got a horrendous record there, and he's still got a couple of world-class players there who, even though they were kind of we kind of like I said, modified how they normally played and not kind of marked them quite well. They still had a couple of good chances. The true chance I had. So Aaron Ramsdale turned up for us as well in terms of making those crucial saves. But all in all, it just shows this season that there's levels on both sides. It wasn't so much clear. It was pretty clear when we played them at the Emirates, but when we played them at their ground, it was pretty clear that we're just levels a lot above in terms of players on the field, tactics, and most importantly, athleticism as well. We just kept on going, to the extent that their best chance of kind of getting back in the game was in half-time, scoring those first 15 minutes. The minute they didn't score in those first 15 minutes, I think that's when the heads went down and they kind of accepted defeat.
Yeah, totally agree with you there. Kyle, I know you were buzzing about it. Great game, I thought. and I thought Ramsdale, he pulled off 2 or 3 absolutely crucial saves. He was so buzzing for that game, and you could see at the end of the game his reaction. He was so focused. I mean, what was your game, mate?
Yeah, Jays, I went over to the local pub here to watch the game, and I went over very nervous. I was extremely nervous. I went in actually think the Spurs was going to beat us. So when I saw that first half, I was extremely happy. We outclassed them in every blade of the grass. We were outstanding. Odegaard to me was man of the match. I thought Odegaard was sensational on Sunday, and he's making me eat my words because I didn't rate the man, but he's absolutely been brilliant this season. I thought, to tell you the truth, James, overall, I was a bit disappointed with the chances that we conceded. That Ramsdale ended up saving a few good opportunities Spurs had to score. They could have easily scored 2 or 3 goals themselves, Chase. And to me, that was a bit of a downer because we bossed them, we were all over them, but yet they still created a couple of chances. I know maybe we took the foot off the gas, maybe, and they thought it was all over. But to me, that was just a worrying sign to me. But overall, Jays, I was very happy, very content with the 3 points. But, Jays, I know you guys are from North London and you're Arsenal fans all your life, and I'm over here in Ireland as an Arsenal fan all my life. But for me, the big game for me is Man United. That was always mine. Yeah, we have the North London derby, but to me, Man United, Jays, is the big one. So I know we talk about that soon, but it was great 3 points. Let's move forward. Let's push on.
Absolutely, yeah, great. Well said, mate. Well said. Steve, did you actually see the Tottenham Arsenal game?
Yeah, I did. Thought you guys were comfortable for probably 65, 70 minutes out of that match. Tottenham had some moments, but that's all they are. That's all Spurs are. And that's the other very big difference between Arsenal and Tottenham. You guys aren't just a moments team. You produce moments because you're excellent for more than 10 minutes of the game, which Spurs are, or 20 or whatever. You guys are a lot of your performances this year have been outstanding across the 90 for the most part. And then you create excellent moments and you score goals and you defend well. And Ramsdale, if the defense has a slight off day, guess what? He's there. He's there to make big save after big save if needed. You guys are the complete package. Spurs have so much to work on, but with the way Spurs are, that's never really gonna, come to fruition from what I've seen. So
No.
you guys have been, you guys were tremendous. So yeah, really.
Yeah, it's one of the best performances that we've played down at White Hart Lane in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
We've had a pretty bloody awful record there for quite a long time. And, case in point, last season, went there, got spanked 3-0. Absolute total embarrassment. Well, I'll tell you what impressed me as well. From minute 1 that I was able to watch that game, the actual away fans, the Arsenal fans, were peak. They were absolutely singing the top of their voices, and you couldn't hear the Spurs fans. I'm sure before the game, obviously, it's the usual banter between fans, opposing fans and all that. But once Arsenal went 1-0 up with the Saka goal, which I think was a great goal, you basically couldn't hear most of Tottenham. And what I loved was round about 70, 75 minutes, you saw them all starting to walk out. And when that happens, you're at home in a North London derby. Yeah. That's a very sad indictment of your football club that actually happens, because there was no excuse for that, really. It wasn't like they had to get anywhere. So, yeah, it was poor. I think that's very poor, the Spurs fans. Kyle, I mean, I thought the Arsenal faithful, the away fans, were absolutely exceptional. They always are. I mean, in my book, the Arsenal away fans are the best of the best. And how did you see it, mate?
Yeah, Jace, there's the as we've mentioned this quite a lot. Highbury, my experience of going to Highbury, I loved Highbury because the atmosphere was always electric. We were right on top of the players. There was just something special about Highbury. Then my experience at the Emirates Stadium wasn't quite the same at all. It was like a library. It was dead. The atmosphere was bad. Yes, I know we weren't winning trophies. There was nothing to shout about. But it surprised me. It took me back. But this season, there's something in the air. There's that something special feeling. And I feel that the fans have connected back to the club and the club is connected with the fans. I think the players have connected with the fans because there was a division in my eyes for many, many years. But like you see, it's like a collective. We're all together. We're all on this journey together. And the fans away going to the away games have been exceptional all season. At home and away, Jace, the fans have been like their 12th man. And we're all shouting, we're all screaming. And us guys here, and I need to say this, I've been called negative, I've been called every name under the sun, but it's not being negative. I wanted my club to be at the standards it's at the moment. And that's what I want. That's what we all want. Mm-hmm. And I gladly take the criticism. I gladly take the hits for what I've been saying. But that's because I want the best of the best for my club. And it's a great feeling to see all those fans all together marching forward to get this Premier League under our belt. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to come on to Kenny in a minute. Diego C. Palace, you're at Selhurst. Good luck, mate. Come on the Palace. Hope you do well tonight, my friend. Kenny, you are one of the Arsenal faithful. Basically, you're home and away. And let's get it right. Going to White Hart Lane is never an easy day out. And you were there. You experienced it, mate. We know what it's like before the start of the game, with all the banter going on and all that. But when Arsenal went 1-0 up with that Saka goal, the place was electric with Arsenal fans. It was amazing.
Well, it's funny you say that because on the way there, it felt like a derby, but it didn't. We felt very confident and comfortable when we were walking down the high road because our attitude is, you know what, let's just go in there, buy our stuff, and don't alert ourselves to other people, and just because at the end of the day, one guy wisely said, the majority of Spurs fans are just like us. There's only a few prats on there who are going to just make fools of themselves.
Only takes a few, sadly.
Yeah, that's the thing. And so it was a good walk. And, there was a few young Arsenal fans were getting drunk, having a few songs. But my attitude to them is that, the best thing for them to understand that you don't do it is if someone confronts them and then that might change the ways. But in terms of walking down that high road, I'll tell you one thing, you won't go hungry. There's so much. There are so much. All the world's foods. You've got kebabs places. You've got chicken shops. You've got McDonald's. You've got Chinese. You've got everything there. I swear it was like I was full up. I didn't even eat anything. But to get in the ground when we scored the first goal, it was like slow motion because at first we thought, how did the ball go in? Because we saw it from our side. We saw Lewis get make the save. And then we're thinking, why has everything gone quiet? Because we thought, we celebrated. Then we had, held fire because we thought VAR was looking at it because there might have been some sort of offside. And then we realised that there's no offside. It actually came with a goalkeeper. It came with a goalkeeper. And then we went, no way did he score it. No way has he done that in the North London derby. And after that, the Spurs, to their credit, came back pretty quickly because straight, a couple of minutes afterwards, they had that chance from Song.
Yeah.
And if they scored that chance from Song, which is quite clear-cut, good play by Sessegnon, that might change the game. But throughout the game, Arsenal fans were unbelievable. We never stopped singing. It was like we were the home team. I don't know how it came across on your TV screens, But where I was really, really loud. And it was a physical thing as well, especially when the goals went in. But we were jumping out of skins, standing on seats at the end of the game when the players came over to us. But, you know, our away fans are, this season, more than any season, are the best. And normally they're the best anyway. But at that ground, we outsung the Spurs fans. The only time we heard anything from Spurs fans is from before kickoff, when they had all their like I said, paraphernalia. They had the guy from Blue, whatever he's called, Anthony Costa, telling everyone how he was a Spurs fan as a little kid. Oh yeah, bore off Anthony and all that stuff. But Arsenal fans, we that section of the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium was like M5, absolutely bossed it. There was a few idiots who during the game decided to throw 2 massive plastic cups of liquid. I don't know what was in it. For their embarrassment, I pray it was beer, because it was something else. It's quite disgusting. And then, from the other end, we thought the players were actually having a fight. We didn't realise that there was a pork chop who decided to make himself famous. But our fans, and even coming out the ground, our fans were just larger than life, singing the songs, blah blah. But then on the way out, we refused to go to like Tottenham Hale and North Holland Park. We went down the high road because it was quicker. I'm not, we just to the police. Yeah, we know our way. We're going that way. I said, okay, boom, 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 and we went that way.
Yeah, big up to you for doing that, Steve. You, I know you're planning. I think maybe was it this year to get over.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah,
go to St James's Park. I mean, St James's Park is their fan base is immense. The noise there, if you ever watch it on the telly, it's unbelievable. And I think, in comparative terms, the Arsenal faithful, they are up there with the incredible noise that Newcastle fans at home at St James's Park, they don't stop. They're relentless. So, are you hopeful you'll get over for the new season?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I really would love to go over. Yeah. And I mean, I think in May we play you guys at home, so that'll give me plenty of time to save up. Got to save up for a flight. I know plenty of people in Newcastle, so it won't be a problem. I won't have to pay for a hotel. So there's already one pretty big expense out the way. So it's just all about getting about around 1,000-ish for a flight to St. James's, to Newcastle, because they have an international airport there. So, but yeah, and then a ticket. I know plenty of people. One of my buddies, Josh, works for the foundation, the NUFC Foundation, so he can always hook me up and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Would love to go though. And if it was Arsenal at home, hey, then I could meet up with some of my Gooner friends. So that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Well, good luck with that, mate.
Thanks.
Hope you make it there. Yeah. And we're going to change the subject now.
Yeah.
Arsenal, no signings, and we are 18 days in, and it's the usual merry-go-round with Arsenal. We're linked to everyone and by no one. Kyle, I'll come to you on this, mate. I mean, we've lost out on one player that I wanted, was João Felix. I didn't want the Mudryk fella. I think spending that sort of money, it's only my opinion,
right?
Spending that sort of money on an unknown, unproven player out of the Ukrainian Farmers League, no. Are you concerned about this, Carl?
I'm very concerned, Jace. I'm like yourself. I didn't want this Mudryk fella either. 100 million on an unproven player, forget about it. Then I see that we're linked to all sorts of players. Every name under the sun, but I don't see anyone coming to us. Now, I'm feeling very passionate about this, Jace. We are on top of the Premier League by 8 points. This is our best chance that we've had I know we had the Leicester time, the 2016 or what was it? 2016 when Leicester won it. But for me, this is our best opportunity in almost 2 decades. We're 8 points clear, and we're acting like a little club. We should be out there. We should be out to buying 2 or 3 key players already. Like you said, Jace, we're 18 days into January. Why is there no dealings after being done? We want to push on to win the Premier League, and we're doing nothing. Trossard, I saw yesterday or the day before that Trossard was linked to us. Go and get him. He's on his last 6-month contract to Brighton. Go and give Brighton 20 million, get the man in. Go to Crystal Palace, see what they can do for Zaha. People say Zaha is 30 years of age, blah, blah, blah. Get him into the squad. Get 3 or 4 Telemans. Go and we're talking about Telemans for the last 2 years. Go and get him. Start showing that we're a big, big club. Start showing that we want to attract players to push on to win this Premier League. Because then, Jace, once we win the Premier League, now we're back to the top. Now we can attract in top players. But no, they're not doing it. If they don't do it, Jace, and we lose out in the Premier League, I want to see H roll at the end of the season.
Absolutely.
Simple as.
Totally agree. And the thing is, I'll come to Kenny on this one as well. I'm just going to say, Carl, I see today that Saliba's rejected a new deal. So
he's not rejecting no deal, is he?
He's not accepted it. So his demand and Arsenal's offer are apparently way apart. Kenny, the voice of reason. Do you actually think, Kenny, that we're actually going to get anyone, or are we just going around in circles, trying to make ourselves look good? And
the thing about it is that there's evidence, and it's like corroborative evidence, not just from the TV, but from Shakhtar themselves, that we did go in for Madrid. And there's evidence that we did go in for Felix. So we are going for these players. But my argument and my beef has never been not getting them or who they are. My beef is that whenever Arsenal go for a player, they always get the price down. Try and get the price down and try to haggle over a price. It doesn't matter whether a player's worth £100 million. They could be worth £5 million. The club will still haggle. They never meet clubs' valuations. Hence the fact they don't get the players. And then they haggle over personal terms as well, which they did with this guy. Again, that is why they don't get players over the line. And that is why Arsenal have got the feel of a top 4 club when it comes to transfer activity. Arsenal need to accept that if they're going to win this league and win many leagues after that, they have to accept that they're in an auction with Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, and Man United, the top teams. They're not in a market with Tottenham or any teams that are trying to get in the top 4. They're part of top 4 now. Their results shout that it's a top 4. I know a lot of people who are anxious and worried like me about winning the title think, the top 4 is going to be a great season. I think that's going to be a great disappointment and great anticlimax. It's something I won't celebrate because I want us to at least challenge this league, preferably win it, but challenge. I'll accept a challenge right to the, the jaws of the season. But to do that, you have to get top class players. You've got to get players who want to win your league. You've got to get the best players that Chelsea and Man City in the market. It's no good Arsenal fans making excuses as they like to do and say, well, we can't compete with Chelsea, we can't compete with Man United. Well, then accept the top 4 and accept you're a top 4 club. Don't call yourself a big club and own it. And that's to them, not for me, for them. And use that sort of talk. Because you have to, whether you want or not, you have to match Chelsea and Man City because you're going for the same players in that market. It's no good saying, oh, yeah, we're here, Arsenal. I'll come to Arsenal. We've got this great tradition. Players don't care about tradition. 20 years ago, and I say this respectfully,
money.
Top players weren't using Chelsea or Man City as one of the, how to say it, as one of the beacons of Premiership football.
But aren't Chelsea?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's up to because they had the European. Yeah, but the top players weren't going. The players who are in their prime weren't going to Chelsea. There were players who were probably who've been outside the top clubs, and maybe just turned 30 were going there or in their 30s, but top players were going to Man United, and to the extent that they come to Arsenal. So they would have sort of like Arsenal and Man United, and any club challenge to the Champions League was the alpha and omega. But now we're in a situation where players who are blatantly didn't grow up hearing about Man City, and it's not disrespect for Man City fans, it's just facts. They call Man City one of the top clubs in Europe. They call Chelsea one of the top clubs in Europe because of the fact that they have won major trophies and they've been in important matches in the Champions League. So they're going to go there. They don't care about Arsenal tradition or even Man United's. And this is just facts. So if Arsenal want to go in for these players, you have to be the Chelsea standard and make sure ultimately that you're that you're competing for the Champions League every season and that you're trying to win the league every season. That's the limit. That is the in tray now. That is in people's ADSs, the objectives now. Can't go back to being a top 4 club.
No.
We complain about that with Wenger. So let's not be hypocrites and just and all of a sudden say that's all right. Because we weren't him sacked when we were comfortably in the top 4 because he weren't going for the league.
Totally agree, mate. I'm going to ask you this one, Steve. Arsenal Maniac says, Amrabat, Trossard, Mitrovic, Zaha. Do you guys rate these players? I would certainly take Zaha. We need a player like Zaha. Trossard I'd go for all day long, for certain. How do you see them, mate, in the Arsenal squad if we went in for them?
Out of those 4 guys, for me, Sofyan Amrabat, for me, he was exceptional at the World Cup. And for me, when I watch him for Fiorentina playing in the Serie A, he's all right. He's nothing special per se, but that's just because the role, how Vincenzo Italiano decides to play him at Fiorentina is very different. He's more deep lying when he plays for Fiorentina, and he doesn't have the kind of the room to run around and cause havoc like that. So possibly something like that. Maybe you could work if Arteta could be like, all right, I've seen you succeed in the World Cup doing this role, and at Fiorentina you're doing this. Let's do more of what you did at the World Cup. Let's see if you're capable of, translating it to, a stronger league and, compared to a tournament. So Amrabat for me, yeah, sure, for 20 mil, why not? You need midfield depth because if Xhaka or Partey gets injured, that's a problem. That's a big problem. In terms of Trossard, Mitrovic, and Zaha, I'll start with Mitrovic. Fulham would have, and again, here's the problem with doing this 18 days in. Maybe if you put in an offer on January 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, and it was finalized by the 5th, that would give Fulham the rest of the month to find a striker to replace Mitrovic. Now there's only 12, 13 days left. So if you wanted to buy Mitrovic from Fulham, they're either not going to sell or you're going to have to pay something outlandishly expensive for him because it's so late in the month. They have less time to find a replacement. And then if they try to buy from another club their striker, well, then that club has to. So you know what I mean? That's why you're correct, and you guys are correct. And it is frustrating that you guys haven't done business early because now it's getting harder and harder to buy. But Zaha would be, I think he'd be a great signing, and then Trossard as well. But I think, again, depth on the wing because, same thing with Xhaka Partey. If Saka goes down with some sort of injury and Martinelli, you guys are in some trouble because the replacements for them are not nearly the same quality as those. So that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, a lot of guys in the chat here are saying that we're in the greatest position we've been in for 18 years, apart from the 2016 season,
right,
where we were runners up to Leicester, and we were the only team to beat Leicester twice that season. And Wenger cocked that up basically by not getting the appropriate cover for players. So it is basically there. for Edu and the crew to cock it up.
Yeah.
And I just have to ask the question of what do these guys do when the transfer window's closed? Do they just do nothing? They just go,
A lot of time on Mudryk, if you believe reports. And then what did that turn out to be? You know what I mean?
well, in fairness, I'll pop my neck on the block here. I'm led to believe that Shakhtar Donetsk contacted Arsenal, so I'm told, to say did they want to meet Chelsea's offer, and they said no. Now I will show some respect to that and say we were getting our pants taken down again, and I don't think the guy's worth that money.
Yeah, I don't.
I could be totally wrong, and he turns out to be world class for Chelsea. I'd very much doubt it. But here's a comment here from Hendon Guna at the Sheikh AFC. Edu is laundering money out of the club. He paid that Brazilian club $3 million when we signed Mark Krinos for free. Now, that's another very interesting point. We had once an iconic manager in George Graham that got done for behind the scene deals. I'm not saying I'm not making casting anything on this, but it just seems a very odd thing to do. You can get a player for free. Oh no, we'll give you $3 million. Oh, that's because we want to be friendly with the club. Come on, this is the world of multi-million pound business. You don't be friendly with people. You try and take that person down. That's absolute rubbish. But we'll move on because I think it just depresses me actually that we are that crap that we cannot get over the line. This weekend, Man United at home, the usual battle with our great enemy, Man United. Kenny, you'll be there. How do you see it going, mate?
I'm very excited by this game because both sides are playing good football, and I think there's a school of thought that both clubs have got the right managers. Both teams are playing towards their managers' instructions, and both sides are like smacking form. Like we got Partey, who is our team, and Casemiro for Man United just makes things just look easy. He just makes you would think that with Casemiro that he's been there all his career. He just fitted in as soon as he got his fitness up. They're a different side now. To the extent that the thing with Casemiro, and I say this respectfully, but my mate of mine take it badly. He's everything. McTominay wasn't, and probably never going to be. That's how good Casemiro is, and that's how Man United struggled in a midfield with Fred and McTominay. Now, Fred's a good player, but Fred and McTominay midfield axis was never good enough. He's fixed that. He's also fixed their defence to a certain extent. He's got Varane with a perfect partner alongside him. He's got Luke Shaw playing good football, and he's managed to even without Dalot not playing, he's managed to get Wan-Bissaka playing to a Man United style level, and I don't mean just attacking wise, but defensively as well. So he's got a tune out of every player that's gone there. The only player that he didn't get a tune out of was Ronaldo and Maguire, and Ronaldo didn't do the pre-season. Maguire he hasn't got time to get him through it. So that's what I'm looking forward to it, because it can go either way. Man United win tonight and they get a result against us. They're 3 points behind us, obviously with a game in hand, but it becomes, in my opinion, a three-way battle for the title if they win today and tomorrow, because I'm assuming, and assumptions count for nothing in football, that Man City will win their next game. So to bring everything even more closer, and then Newcastle got as well. They got a big game against Crystal Palace. Can't knock them out as well, because Crystal Palace, who are so unlucky, they've had some really hard games. Yeah. So They got Man United tonight, and then on Sunday they got. Was it Saturday or Sunday? They got Crystal Palace.
Sad. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Saturday at Selhurst Park. So again, that game is another stiff test. Which was decide where we are as a club. We've met every test comfortably, but I think this is a team with the tactics to actually cause some trouble, like Newcastle had. I don't think many teams had the tactics to deal with us over 90 minutes. I think this side might do.
I think it's going to be absolutely well. North side of London, good to see you, mate. Really enjoyed the stream the other day with Diesel. Good to see you, mate. And I have to get you on the channel, or I'll come on your channel, whatever. Everybody, go and subscribe to Northside London. Does great content. Goes absolutely wild. It's brilliant. Love him. And nice to see you, mate. And keep the content coming, bro. I was just going to say that Man United, they are, to me personally, our second biggest enemy outside of Tottenham. I know some people don't see Tottenham as a rival. They are. It's history. It's in the blood. It is what it is. Kyle, Man United. You remember the battle days of Sir Alex Ferguson, and those games when it was an annoyance to play Man United. Do you think, this is a question I'm going to put to you, do you think it's a good time now for us to be playing them at home?
I've a lot to say about the Man United fixture. I think it's a good time to play him. I think it's going to be a great game of football. Ten Hag has had done a magnificent job at Manchester United. They were in the gutter. Now we're talking about them challenging for the league title. Let's get something straight. Man United is in for a shout to win this league title this season. They're playing exceptional football. Like Eddie Kane said there, Casemiro is outstanding. Rashford is after hitting form. And this game could go anywhere. For me personally speaking, Jays, this is just me personally speaking, I'd rather see Rangers win the league title than watch Man United win any game. And that's how much I hate fucking Man United. I hate it. And I don't know, Jays. I think that if Arsenal beat them on Sunday, I think we have one hand on the league title. That's my honest opinion. But I think if Man United win tonight and get a result against Arsenal on Sunday, this is going down to the wire. Man United will be thereabouts. I hate the thoughts of us, but it's going to remind. I'm excited in another way, guys, because it reminds me of the old days, the old battles. I went to Old Trafford. I think you might remember. So it was an FA Cup game, and I went. Bowie got sent off. Remember that day when the Bowie got sent off and Wayne Rooney? They were out to beat. They were 3-0 up, I think, after the first 25 minutes. I was there that day, and I went to Highbury to watch them as well, and Roy Keane, Vieira killing each other. Brilliant games, brilliant times. And I think this is going to be like that for the first time in years. And it's great to see. But you said last week, Jace, that you're always nervous about the North London derby. You said that the Saturday night you might not sleep. Well, I can guarantee you I won't be sleeping Saturday night. I hate with a passion. I hate Man United. So this is massive on Sunday. Massive.
It is. It's actually. I did a poll, and I'm going to put this out to our neutral fan on this channel, Steve. The poll I put out had around about 300 response so far. Was Arsenal to win 64%, Man United to win 20%, and a draw 16%. What's your view on it? I mean, you're looking in from the outside. You are a neutral, sort of, although we're trying to convert you over. But
No chance.
How do you see it going, mate? How do you see this game?
I see it being another, excellent, entertaining, display of top football and two teams in some, red hot form. And I'm excited to watch as a neutral. I agree with you guys. I don't got any love for Man United. I hate them. They're everything I don't like. But they are playing really damn well this year. And I knew Ten Hag because watching Ajax and whatnot in the Eredivisie. He's a fantastic manager. He's so ruthless, and he's just like, you know what? If you don't follow my rules, if you're not gonna walk with me through the fire and battle and all that stuff, then you can get the hell out. And he's ruthless. He's just cutthroat. There is no stepping out of lines. There's no special treatment for players. There's none of that. None of that. No favoritism. He's just straight to the point. If you win, good. Let's move on to the next one. It reminds me a lot of just, the typical German Dutch kind of way, just get the job done. Next up, let's go. Not some emotion behind it, yeah, because you celebrate you win and that, but just so focused, complete a task, done. If you didn't, why didn't we do it? If you broke a rule of the club or whatever, the groundwork that Ten Hag lays out, you're sitting out the game. Rashford even benched Rashford because he was late for a team meeting, woke up a little late, didn't play against Wolves. See, and he is crucial to that team, absolutely crucial. But he said, you know what? I have standards. I got rules. No special treatment. None of that. So, again, yeah, they're doing great. And then Arsenal, same thing. It seems like Arteta is building some sort of winning culture. It's a shame for you guys that Edu doesn't want to, add on to that, get some more depth in there. But for me, I think you guys will win. I'll go 2-1 because, what test have you failed this year? What big game did you flop in? It was at Man United away. That's it. At Old Trafford. And obviously there's some controversy and whatnot behind that. But I see you got, you beat them last year. I'm pretty sure you generally have a good record when they come to the Emirates. Is that true? Yes? No?
Yeah. We got a good record there, yeah.
Yeah, so I will take an Arsenal win. But I also think Manchester United, with the form they're in, 8-9 wins in a row or something in all competitions. So they're either due a loss or they're due another win because of how good they're in. So good form they're in. So I'll go 3-2 Arsenal. I just think it's gonna be. I have never seen a meaning. I've only watched it since 2014. I've never seen Arsenal and Man United have a genuinely strong, both teams having genuinely strong, consistent sides. I've never seen it. So this is the first legitimate Arsenal Man United game that I'll be watching on Sunday as a neutral. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, Arsenal Maniac says, I tend to agree with this. I thought we dominated Man United at Old Trafford. Just the super high line and naivety cost us.
Yeah.
Are even better now. Be confident we shall win. I also think Arteta made a couple of bad substitutions in that game.
Yeah.
Steve, what do you think on that?
Yeah, I think I was about to say, didn't Vieira come on in that game and that was his debut or something crazy?
Yeah.
So that, you don't really want to throw him in when you're looking for that. I forget the other substitution where it was like, what the hell? But hey, clearly he's learned from it because you guys haven't lost many games since then. You've won a hell of a lot of them. So it looks like he's learned from it for the most part. So and also I'm also taking you guys to win because Newcastle, we're the only ones to take points from you so far. We only took one. So I'll give you the benefit of the doubt at home to them. So I think you won't be dropping many home points at home, in my opinion, rest of the year. I'd be surprised if someone beat you, just like I'd be surprised if someone, went to Old Trafford nowadays and won, or someone went to St. James's and won, because all three of those clubs, we've made our home ground our fortress, and that is the first step. And in any title winning season, you gotta have a strong top 2 or 3 minimum in the league to even be a contender for the league. So that's like step 1 out of the way. Do you guys agree with that? Home form is like you gotta be, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Establish.
Home form is important. If the teams that win titles are virtually invincible at their own ground. Virtually.
Yeah. Don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm going to predict 2-1 win for Arsenal. Kenny, you'll be there. How do you see it? What's your prediction, mate?
Well, I've been wrong every time, so I'm gonna see if I could be right. I think that we'll win by the odd goal as well, about 1-0 or 2-1. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's a draw. I've actually put it down on my coupon as a 1-1 draw. So, but I wouldn't be surprised if I win. But if we win by the odd goal, it wouldn't surprise me either. But it's going to be hard. We're going to have to work hard. It's going to be 90 minutes. You know what I mean? Rashford's just on fire. Can't stop scoring. Just like Saka can't stop scoring as well. But Rashford's in numerous form. And even if you're keeping quiet, the fact is that you've got to worry about Eriksen as well. And Fernandes as well, making those runs from the midfield. So they're dangerous players. But whatever happens, Partey can't allow Casemiro to get control of that game. Because Casemiro gets control of that game, then it's going to be hard for players like Xhaka to get on the front foot, and for Odegaard to be the great player that he's been in the last all season. To be honest, most of this season anyway.
Totally agree with that. Kyle, give me your prediction, mate, for the game.
Guys, Arsenal have improved since the game at Old Trafford, but Man United has also improved, and I think they look very, very dangerous, Chase, and they're playing some very good football, flowing attacking football. I think Casemiro is so important in midfield. I think Martinez and Varane are exceptional in the centre back. And I think Ten Hag will have a game plan up his sleeve. He's very much into detail. And I don't think this game is going to be an easy game. It's not going to be an easy game. I'm going to go 2-1 to Man United, Chase, unfortunately. But no, I also said last week, Chase, I also said on one of your shows, I fancied Spurs to beat us as well. So I have been proved wrong. I hope I'll be proved wrong this Sunday as well. I hope we go out there, Chase, and beat them 3-4-8. That's what I'd love to see happening. But I don't know, Chase. They're a dangerous outfit. They're in the league title. They're in the rest of the league title. Never write Man United off, Chase. Never write them off. I'm going to stick my neck on the line 2-1 to Man United.
Okay.
You
can never write them off. I said that on somebody else's stream the other night. I can't remember who it was now. Anyway, Steve, Newcastle. Before we wrap this up, Newcastle United going well, having their best season in such a long time, and respect to them. They deserve it. The fans deserve it.
Yeah.
How do you see this weekend going?
Yeah, we got Palace away. Given their form recently, I feel pretty good, but it's Palace away. It can be tricky. They have a decent atmosphere there, as well. They've got talented players. That's the thing that's confusing me. It's like they've got talented players. I'm a huge fan of Eberechi Eze. I think he's got some wonderful dribbler, good shot, intelligent, all that stuff. Michael Elise too, bags of ability. Zaha, obviously. And the biggest thing for me for Palace that confuses me is they've got two strikers in Mateta and Brentland. Not Dembele. No, Hudson Edwards, sorry. They've got two really talented strikers that they just never seem to get much out of. And for me, that's probably why they struggle sometimes, because Zaha, as a winger, he can only score you so many goals because it's the main job of the striker to score, the majority of the goals. So I think that's probably why they go through these ups and downs for me, because if Mateta or Edouard were more consistent with their minutes that they both got great attributes. I think both of them are talented. I like Mateta a little bit more, but they are tricky. They are tricky to play against. Tyreek Mitchell as well. Joel Ward does a good job for them at fullback. Guaita is another. He's a fantastic goalkeeper in my opinion. He can make loads and loads of wonderful saves. So they've got an all right team. So it is going to be tricky, but I thought it was going to be tricky going to Fulham away. I think 2 months ago, and we destroyed them 4-1. Southampton we destroyed away 4-1 as well, I believe. So, I think we'll win it, but it'll be close. It'll be close. I'm gonna say 3-1. I think we'll be up 2-1 and then get a late goal while they'll try to push on and get an equalizer or something. But yeah, it's tricky game, but looking forward to it. Absolutely.
Well, Palace, Selhurst Park is never an easy place to go and play. That is for sure. It's relentless. Their fan base are unbelievable. They're something different. But we're going to wrap it up soon. I still think that Arsenal are in prime position. We're 8 points clear. It's ours to throw away now. And I honestly do think we are just that need to just get these deals over the line to strengthen the club. And it's going to be heads will have to roll. That is for sure. No doubt about it. Kenny, I mean, if we can't strengthen, if we don't strengthen, and would you look, if we can't get new players in, would you look to bring back a couple of players on loan?
The only one I'll looking to bring him back on loan is Balogun. Just to let us have in this as a striker. He's the only one I'll be interested in bringing back, because as much as Jesus, they say Jesus is ahead of schedule, it's going to take him a few maybe outings to get himself back to the way player he was, so he might be on the bench for a bit, and then Eddie might lead the line until Jason is fully fit, and then Arteta just said, right, sorry Eddie mate, thanks for all you've done, but this guy's going to win me the league. We're still going to need someone else to come on. It can't be just Eddie. You need another bit of variety. But I don't think Arteta would do that, which is because simply Arteta is the kind of guy who would like him to, get the full season, then come back in pre-season and challenge. And I just really and truly, the club have said they are going to get at least one in. And the player they're now looking at is that, as well as we're hearing noises about Rafinha, we're hearing noises about Moussa Diaby.
Moussa Diaby,
yeah, Moussa Diaby from Leverkusen. So again, that's a player that Arsenal are definitely looking at. I've noted that he is a bit of an inverted right winger. We all got Saka, so if we do get him, then we probably have to convince him and try and get him to play down the left, when the player that we've got to just walk straight in our team, I assumed the club were looking to blood was Mudryk. I'm not saying that's any disgrace or to Martinelli, but I just get that feeling that Martinelli isn't one of Arteta's must-plays. He's got 3 must-plays. 3, and they're Saka, Partey and Odegaard. People put Xhaka in there, obviously because Xhaka, but I still think that they're our 3 most important players. If you notice, I didn't say Martinelli.
Yeah. Kyle, how sum it up, mate. How do you think? What do you think? Are we going to do it? Are we going to get them? I don't know. Who would you bring back?
Jays, first of all, I wouldn't bring any of them back. They've been at the club, and as far as I'm concerned, they're not good enough for my standard, for where I want Arsenal Football Club. I hear people saying bring back Pepe. I wouldn't put Pepe on nothing. I just out the door. Maitland Niles had been mentioned. Don't want to see him either. So we have to. Let's get facts here. Let's speak some facts. It's not going to be done now. I know that. But in the summer days, we have to get rid of a lot of players over that club that's not good enough, Jace. And yeah, I know we're speaking about January. My situation is very simple. We need to buy in 2 or 3 additions to this current squad, because if you're looking at the bench, it's a joke. And if anything happens to Partey, Saka, Odegaard, we're in serious trouble, lads. We are in serious trouble. We have no one to replace them. And whoever we do have to replace them are not good enough. They're not going to win us the Premier League. So basically what we're doing is we're relying on our main 11 players to get us over the line to win us the Premier League. That's not going to happen. It's impossible. So we have to buy 2 or 3 players. And if not, and if we lose the league title, heads have to roll. You have to be gone. Ain't the story. Like what's for us all, guys? We're all out working. We're all doing our own thing. If I didn't turn up this morning to drive the bus, I'd be sacked. Good luck to you. So the same thing has to happen to these fellas, and they earn millions and millions of pounds every year, and they're not doing their jobs right. So get the checkbooks out, get in the additions, push forward, and win the Premier League, and show that we are a big club, that we are Arsenal Football Club.
Absolutely. Kyle, there's a question for you, mate.
Stephen Kenny.
Yes, can you ask Kyle, would he take Stephen Kenny as Arsenal manager?
Where I live here in Wexford, the sunny southeast of Ireland, there's a local soccer team, the Shamrock Rovers. I wouldn't put Stephen Kenny in charge of the under-10 team of the Shamrock Rovers.
What about Derry City? What about Derry City?
That's why the Irish soccer team is the way we are, because of fools like him.
Fair play, mate. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap it up. Steve, give your show a shout out, man. Where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find me. My personal main channel is Strasbourg Steve. I'm gonna, like I said, to you guys backstage, I'm doing a Leeds United versus Cardiff City watch along FA Cup 3rd round replay. So I'll be live doing that, doing some commentary and just watching the game and checking out some others. So, and then on Newcastle Fans TV, I do watch alongs, fan reactions, all that kind of stuff. Some other videos. If we get a transfer from Ligue 1 and none of my Newcastle friends have any idea, they just like, Steve, go on a video, tell him who he is, yada yada yada. So, but yeah, that's mainly where I'm at. Strasbourg Steve, and then Newcastle Fans TV. And then if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's just Stove Mahala, and then Strasbourg Steve Kits, all in one, on the Instagram. So thanks for having me on also, by the way. I appreciate it.
Pleasure, man. You're always welcome. You know that. Kenny Ken, where are we going to find you, mate? Got much coming up?
No, not much. Just Instagram. Doing my Instagram stories. Probably going to do record a bit of the action on Instagram of the match, the Man United game, and that's it. And I'm just looking forward to the weekend, really. But I'm Instagram busy every day. I've managed to sort of give Twitter the double finger. I can't stand it. It's boring. People in there are just fake. They're not proper people. They're not people I want to have anything to do with. I thought they were right people, but they show the true colour. Twitter is yesterday's news. I've got loads of followers, but I don't put any content on there. If I lose some of my followers, I couldn't care less, because one thing about Twitter, it was a litmus test for my Instagram. It's telling that the people I followed on Twitter, I wouldn't touch with a barge pole on Instagram, because I have more conversations, more fun on there. But you know, it is what it is. You got to try something to find out about it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, I mean, I watch your Insta stuff. I see you every day, and you do some good content in there. Fair play. I'll shout out Kyle. We've lost him. Kyle Walsh. Walsh. Go and subscribe to his channel, mate. He's not doing a lot at the moment for a couple of reasons, but that's down to him. Anybody watching who's new, I'm 18 away from getting to 3.3 thousand subs. So if you're new, please give us a sub, like the video. There's more content coming up this weekend. I'll be doing a match preview, match reaction. Be chatting probably with Gracie May, Kenny on the game at some point. And it's going to be an interesting weekend. Last weekend was nervy. It's going to be more nervy again, knowing the history of our clubs. Yeah, the Sheikh AFC. Yeah, Edu is a prick. There you go. He's used to his job. I don't know what he does. And, you know, personally, if we don't get some signings in, mate, he should be sacked. But he won't be, because he'll just go along for the ride, and we'll see where it goes from there. But everybody, thanks for watching. Looking forward to the weekends. It's going to be a massive weekend in my book. Last weekend was huge. This is going to be massive. If we can win against Man United, wow, what a couple of weekends of sport, because these are big, big, big games in Arsenal's season. And then, not long after that, we have Man City. That's going to be huge. It's going to be, whoa, I don't know. We're at heady times, guys. And we now have got, 17 days to go, is it? 17 to get some players in. It's going to be interesting, that is for sure. Anyway, wrap it up there. Thanks for watching. Thanks for smashing the likes, and we'll speak soon with the next one. I am going to be doing some Arsenal history stuff. Haven't done any for a while. The next one's going to be all about one of our iconic goalkeepers, Pat Jennings. A lot of people have actually asked me to do one on a goalkeeper that I never saw, Jack Kelsey. I might do that. I never actually see him play. So
they say he's one of our best goalkeepers ever.
Apparently so. I've got loads of info on him. I've got lots and lots.
I think your Pat Jennings one's going to be interesting, because at the end of the day, Pat Jennings was a great servant for us. We got the last few years of his prime. But ultimately, some Arsenal fans ain't having him, and I think he's the most honest man I know. Of course, he's a Tottenham fan. He spent most of his career there. That's his club, and the fact that Spurs have given him a statue? Was it? No, it's not. He's got his own room in it at the club, in it, a Pat Jennings room. Yeah. And you know what? I respect that, because at the end of the day, at least he's a Spur. But it's a fake. But what I don't understand is that why can't we do the same with George Graham? Well, George Graham is Arsenal. He was only at Spurs for about, a couple of years? Yeah,
not long.
3 years at most. And yet we tend to sort of think, oh, let's not have George on around the club. Let's not do this. It's nice to see that George Graham was at the club when they were unveiling the new, images around
artwork,
mural. Yeah, mural around the club. And I think that, he should be celebrated. I don't see any reason why he can't get a statue. David Dean ain't now. And he had problems with David Dean. So I don't understand why he's not being recognised. But, club have their reasons, but I'm always going to shout it. Every 6 months, I'm going to be saying justice for George.
Johan Cruyff, who we associate with mostly Ajax, even he spent time with, their biggest rivals, Feyenoord. It was only a few years after, but they idolize him. George Graham, is not on. I'm not sure, but I've heard George Graham the name before, but I'm sure he's not far off of a Johan Cruyff possibly. But
yeah,
It was
yeah,
an
exactly.
player, iconic
He's
player.
not.
So
Yeah, he won a double with us.
Mm.
You know, he won a Fairs Cup. He won 2 championships with us and an FA Cup. He won loads of trophies with us as a player and manager.
yeah, our first European trophy,
Exactly.
The City Fairs Cup was.
Yeah.
I think no, it was John Radford was captain, but he was there. And anyway, guys, we're going to wrap it up.
Anyway, let's wrap this up. I'll speak to you guys soon.
Take care, and we'll speak to you all soon.
Peace.